Blessed evening, collective. I'm eating trail mix. I was gonna wait to start the video until after I finished eating the trail mix, but then something in me said no. It started now. So, here we are. It's almost done. I want to pull a reading. I don't know quite what it's about, but I want to say that we're learning the power of pain, which is multifaceted. There's so much to be learned from pain. It is so beneficial to us in so many ways. But I think we're learning especially how powerful pain is as a tool for manifestation. Because we want to manifest. Everything is a manifestation. Everything that we do, all of it is manifested. All of it comes from what's in here, the content of our hearts. And it is very powerful to actually start manifesting from a place of pain. It might sound counterintuitive, and I'm not necessarily suggesting that one stay there, but certainly embracing pain is important. And beginning from that place of longing, starting there, accepting that as your foundation, that there is an intense longing, that there is pain, that can point you in the direction of your desire quite powerfully and give you a lot of clarity about what it is that you actually want. And what you actually want is the emotional content of it. That's the foundation of manifestation. That's the core, that's the essence we're trying to distill everything to. Dreaming from that place and then allowing everything to fill in on top of that. That's how we really get what we want. That's how we really create on purpose. That's how we learn to enjoy the daydream and to trust in it. And to really enjoy the experience of the unfolding, to enjoy the process, to understand how we're participating, what our role is in the process, what our role isn't in the process, which is everything else, which is figuring out how, and a lot of the what as well. Our entire role is simply putting out the emotional content of the desire. This is the emotional what, not the physical what. Letting the physical what fill in on top of that, because the mind will say all kinds of things about what it thinks it wants. But the vast majority of what the mind thinks it wants, which for most people is what they think they want, because most people are identified with the mind. Not a judgment, just a truth. And therefore we keep creating things that we don't actually want because it's what the mind thinks it wants. That's what we're feeding our energy into. We're working really hard at it. We're going about it all backwards. We're stressing and struggling and worrying and not getting the results that actually are satisfying to us. Not because we don't deserve those results, not because we don't get them. They are given. They're given. We're just not seeing it. We're not letting ourselves receive them. We're getting all this other stuff that's just telling us more about what it is we actually want. So again, nothing is going wrong. It's all pushing us to get in touch with the true desire. Everything that you think you want the experience of it. You want the emotional impact of it. That's why you want it. You want the feeling. Because that's the only thing that actually exists. You don't want the concept. The concept is not a thing that you can touch. It's not a real thing that you can interact with. When you say you want love, that's an idea. When you say you want money or good job or any of those things, those are all just ideas. And it's fine to start there. It is perfectly fine to start in the place of idea, but then work your way into the emotional content from there. What does that idea feel like? What does the experience, again, the direct experience of this concept, feel like? Because that's what you want. And that's what you want to put out there. That's where you want to live. That's where you want to spend your time and focus your energy, is in the feeling of the desire. What is it like to feel that fulfilled, to live in that place? And you can get to that place from a place of longing. It might not seem like you can. Feeling the lack, you have a strong desire and your awareness is on the lack of its fulfillment. But if you go deep into the emotional content of that lack, what is the emotional experience of lack of your desire? What is it? Feel into it powerfully. And from that place of feeling with intensity what it feels like not to have your desire, you can look at the opposite. Now, because you're standing in the emotional waters of it, you can turn it on its head and have an actual solid foundation. You actually know what your desire feels like to be fulfilled by knowing what it feels like to experience the lack of it, the perceived lack of it. It's all perception. But I do want to pull some cards. That's just something that I wanted to say. So, yeah, we're gonna do things a little backwards today, because the witches wanted to come out. They fell out as I was taking the cards out. They fell out. And I mean, it's just things flowing. It's time for action. It's time for motion. It's time for communication. What's underneath that? The Six of Cups. It's been a long time coming. A long time coming. Gaining perspective on things that we thought were disappointments. Choices that we had made in the past that we're not happy with have led us to this place. None of it has gone wrong. Everything that we thought was a divergence from the path, where we thought we strayed from the trail, all of it has been leading us here. There have been no mistakes. All of it has been teaching us and preparing us and helping us grow in our awareness, in our power of perspective, in our devotion to self. All of it has been preparing us for this moment. And what is this moment? Because it was underneath. Union. Balance of masculine and feminine energy. Reunification of these energies. How do you recognize your desire? By the way that it feels, not the way that it looks. That is so important. First of all, you want things to surprise and delight you. That's a part of your desire too. You want to be delighted and surprised by what it is that you want. So when you start asking from the pure emotional space of saying, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what it looks like. See, the mind will say all kinds of things like, I want $100,000 a year, or I want the man that makes $100,000 a year, and the suit and tie and the this and that. I want exactly these things. I want the house in Costa Rica with red walls. It's, that's what the mind will say. That's going about it backwards. It's not what you actually want. You want the emotional experience. You want the feeling that you believe those things will generate. But you're limiting the universe. When you say to the universe, only these things will make me feel this way, you're cutting off so much more that can delight you even more, way more than you think those things will. So much more. The universe is saying, yeah, but what if there's something better? Because it knows there's something better. So don't limit the universe by telling it you want this person or this house specifically. Tap into the emotional content. What is it that you want to feel? What is it that you want to feel? You want to feel connected and appreciated, and you want to feel love pouring out of you and being received by someone, and that love being reflected back to you. You want the best possible version. You want the match for you. That's what you want, not that guy. You want the one. You want the guy or gal, in my case especially. You don't want You don't want what you think you want. The heart knows. You don't want that house. You want the house that feels like home. You want the one that welcomes you, that when you put yourself in that place emotionally of dreaming into the experience of what is it like to have received this, how does it feel? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? How do you move in that space? Do you feel the freedom of your body? You feel like dancing there? You feel exuberant and excited? You feel welcomed and safe and secure, but also free to explore and experiment and create? Can you feel all of the food that you're gonna cook there and how delicious it is, and the parties that you have and the people and the conversations? Can you feel all of that experience? Same thing, whatever it is. Money. You think you want $100 million? Even something like this, like win the lottery. That's something that I've been sort of feeling myself into. There's a big part of me that's like, yeah, I would like to win the lottery. I want to win the lottery. But I'm not going to limit it to that, because that's a specific avenue. What I really want, the emotional content of it, is absolute financial freedom. The feeling of being so financially secure, money is just pouring into me from all over, that there's no worry. I have no worry whatsoever. There is so much money coming into me that I get to flow it out all kinds of avenues. And here's a specific detail that I added the other day. I have so much money that I get to keep working my job because I like my job. I get to keep working my job not for the paycheck, but because I want to be here. The money comes separately. The money's taken care of. That's the feeling that I'm putting out there. It's all taken care of. Knowing that I am taken care of. Everything that I could possibly want is taken care of. There's no concern there. So I'm not labeling what that looks like or how that happens. I just know that I want it. I know what it feels like, and I trust that that feeling is there because that is something that is received. That is my experience. Same thing, especially with relationships. Look at that, the sun underneath. That's exactly it. Feel into it. Feel how good this feels. Forget what it looks like. Forget what it looks like. It's not going to look the way that you think. I promise you. And you don't want it to. You know it. You want to know it by the way that it feels. Put it out there that way. This is what my desired relationship feels like. It feels like the one. It feels like the way that I've always dreamed that it would feel like. Absolutely smitten. I'm enamored with this soul, and they are enamored with me. So happy, so good, all of the things. It is the experience of, oh my God, you're it. You are it. You are my one true love. And it's so obvious, it's so abundantly clear to me by the way that it feels. I know it so certainly because of the feeling of it. I want that. I want that. I want to know it by the way it feels. And I trust that I will. When I see it, I will feel it. And you know what's going to be even more awesome? It's going to surprise me. It's going to hit me out of nowhere, and I'm going to go, oh my God! I didn't even know I liked that. I didn't even know. I would never have dreamed. I had no idea, but I like it so fucking much. I like it so much. More of that, please. Yeah. Don't be closed off because you're looking at surface level stuff. Trust the intuition. Trust the emotion. Trust the depth. Trust the feeling. Just that. Just that. Yeah. That's where it's at. That's the one that feels right. Whatever that applies to, whatever that pertains to. relationship, career, anything. That's the one that goes the distance. And again, that's what you want. You want to be all lit up. You want your bells ringing. You want that experience. So why am I here? Why am I here pulling this reading? Why am I here to have fucking fun? To create, by my desire, things that surprise and delight me. Queen of Swords. What's that about? Yeah. We're getting a new... It's like a clear view. A very clear new perspective on things. There's internal epiphany kind of energy. Why things didn't work, why certain things didn't happen, why certain things fell apart, why certain things seem like they've been held up. Rejection is always divine protection or redirection. I've heard it said both ways. Whatever didn't work wasn't supposed to work. It wasn't actually what you wanted. Wasn't actually what you wanted. Might have looked like it. It might have looked like what you thought you wanted. The emotional content of it wasn't there. Wasn't there. Let's cut the cards. Yeah, what you want is the soul. What you want is what lights you up inside. That's what you follow. That's what you go towards. Doesn't matter what it looks like on the surface. It matters what calls to you and is emotionally fulfilling. It's all about the cups. Yeah. The deck just split at the 8 of Cups too. And again, we know more about what we want by knowing what we don't. If we've been in the situation where everything looked on the surface like it was good, it checked all the boxes, we got the money, the house, the award-winning spouse, whatever, you know, the reputation, all of that, but the emotion's not there. It's not actually what we want. Yeah, it's all surface level. It's all for show. It's all for other people and how they applaud and ooh and ah. Maybe it's what somebody else wants, and so you think that you're supposed to want it too. We try to want a lot of those things. I was having this conversation earlier about things that I had dreamed that were not really dreams. They were just projections of an idea of something that I thought would eventually make me happy. But there was no emotion there. I remember distinctly imagining myself at the age of 30. As a kid, I'm imagining myself, okay, I'm 30, I'm established, I'm successful. And what I sort of saw in that projection was I lived alone in a fancy city apartment and had some kind of high-paying tech job. And I felt no joy in that. I felt no joy in that dream. I just assumed that I guess when I got there it would feel good. I guess this is what I'm supposed to want, so I'm just gonna guess and assume and hope that by the time I reach this, it actually feels good, because it didn't, and it doesn't. And thank God that that dream had no fuel to it, because it wasn't what I really wanted. And I started down that path. I was on that path. I was working, because when it's not a real dream, you have to work for it to force it into place. And I was working on making that happen. And I hated every second of it. And I had just resigned myself to being unhappy. I had that thought of, I guess I just will not be happy. I guess this is just what life is. It just fucking sucks. I guess life just fucking sucks. And about 2 weeks after that, I had a major accident. That's when I had the accident. Broke my face, massive concussion, lost a lot of my memory, lost that job, totally derailed because everything in me was like, fuck no, we're not doing this shit. This is not what we came here to do. We're ending that right now. We're cutting that path off. We're moving on. Because that's not it. I was so miserable, committed to what I thought was the dream, that my heart was screaming for the real one, and it manifested that accident. My soul did. Said, this is not what we want. What we want is over here. This happens. It took control. Tangent, but important nonetheless. If it takes effort and strain and struggle, it's not actually what you want. It's not actually the dream. Your heart is still creating. Your heart's bringing all kinds of things in. Are you paying attention to what's just coming in naturally? What's happening that you're not trying for? What's happening that takes no effort? That seems to be happening to you. Oh, I got cards falling out all over the place now. That's the stuff you're calling in, so pay attention to that. Everything else is just kind of pushing shit into piles, and it doesn't mean anything. What is it that your heart is actually yearning for? Sometimes, a lot of times, we create contrast because we're not paying attention to what we're actually yearning for. So we make a lot of the opposite. Because we want to know, we want to pay attention to what we actually want, but we're not. And the only way to get us to pay attention is to give us a whole lot of what we don't want. So finally we go, fuck, I don't want this. I don't want this anymore. Instead of just sitting there and taking it, we actually let it be contrast. We acknowledge, this is not what I want. So part of me wants what I don't want so that I can know what I actually do. So what do I actually want? Let me be really honest about my desire. It's the opposite of this. It's the total opposite of this. 10 swords. We're done. We're done. I had 3 cards fall out. I felt the need to keep shuffling, so I kept shuffling. We are done with this dead end path of just pushing this boulder uphill. It's time to let it drop. We're not accomplishing anything. We're not enjoying anything. Why are we doing that? What we would like, we know from the suffering of continuously pushing this rock uphill, what we would like is to just stop pushing it. We would like to just let it go. Maybe see what else is out there. So it's time to, change. It's time to stop. There is communication attached to this, but it really is predominantly change. Following a new truth, a new direction, new awareness. Okay. First card out. It's time to let go. 4 of Pentacles. Whatever we have been working so hard on that isn't working, we don't actually want it to work. It's not what we actually want. Accept that. It's what the mind thinks it wants. It's what the mind thinks it wants. It's not what we actually want. Accept that there is something that can be so much more enjoyable to you out there. There's something you've never even dreamed of that is so much better than this. So much more fun, so much more satisfying. And you want to find out what it is. Let yourself accept that the mind doesn't know what it looks like. But your heart knows what it feels like. And your heart knows this doesn't feel like it. This is not it. This is pointing me the other direction. The other direction. Time for something new. Time for a change, a new path. Fresh, renewal. Wheel of Fortune in the soul position. Yeah, it's time to let it go. It's time. We have to let go of this old stuff that we've been trying to force into place in order for all the stuff that we actually want to come in. It's got to clear out. We got to leave that void open. And a part of leaving the void open too is accepting the unknown. Again, dreaming the dream from the emotional place and saying, I don't know what it looks like. I don't know, universe. I only know what it feels like. What it looks like is your part. The whole what it looks like, that's a part of the unfolding. I don't actually want to know. I want to be surprised. I want to be surprised. I want, when I see it, to feel myself light up and go, oh my God, that's it. That's it right there. I could never have imagined. I had no idea. It's so good. I like it so much. That's what you want. You're delighting in the existence of the thing. It's an energetic match to you, you see. It's not a conceptual match. It's not an ego match. It's a true match. Whatever it is that you've attracted. You attracted it because it's like energy. Like energy attracts. And you feel it light you up because of that. And it's satisfying because of that. Hidden energy. Time, yeah. It's time to stop flowing energy down this dead end path. Stop giving to the things that are not feeling good. Stop putting energy into them. This includes, I want to include this, beliefs, especially beliefs. Stop putting energy into beliefs that don't feel good. That's a choice that we have. Those beliefs are not serving you. They don't feel good. Why are we thinking them? Why are we choosing to believe them? Out of fear, typically, or unawareness, just not paying attention, not realizing that we have a choice, not knowing we have a choice. We have a choice. If a thought doesn't feel good, that's the universe telling you, hey, this isn't true. This is not supported by the fabric of existence. This thought is out of alignment with the truth of reality. That's why it hurts. Why are you going to keep thinking that thought? It's a lie, and it doesn't feel good, and all you want is to feel good. So it points it in the other direction. What is the opposite of this thought? What is the opposite? What is the thought that I can install instead of this one? That is the true one, and that feels good and supports me and supports the universe, is supported by the universe. Final outcome position, 4 of Swords. Interesting. It feels like silence, but that's a sort of withdrawing. I feel it as a withdrawing of energy from these other things, these other avenues. In the silence, in the withdrawing, in the feeling, we're doing a lot more work. That's where the real work is happening. The real work of creation is in the feeling, is sitting in the stillness, in the silence, and letting ourselves feel into what is my desire. What is the emotional content of my desire? What does it feel like? What does what I want feel like? And then feel it. Invite that in you. Let it manifest fully within you, that emotional content. You are calling it in so powerfully in that moment. And your soul is saying to you powerfully, yes, this is what you have. Now you're seeing clearly the truth of what is yours. This that you're feeling, this emotional satisfaction of what it feels like to have this thing, the desired experience, that's what it feels like. And you can receive that feeling because you're actually experiencing it. because it's yours, because it's real, because it's already done, because you are living, you're in that moment connecting with the rest of yourself, which is living that dream and has been. You just haven't let yourself connect with it. And until you let yourself connect with it, you have a hard time believing it. And when you have a hard time believing it, you have a harder time letting it in, being received. But you know what? Stuff flows around. Stuff flows around. It takes the path of least resistance. Here's a fun thought that I'm playing with that I just installed an upgrade to my operating system today, is that even if I don't believe in my desire, I still receive it. I still receive it because the reception of a desire that I want so much but haven't quite believed in teaches me to believe. Let me say that again. Maybe a little more clearly. I'm not sure if I could say it more clearly. I wrote it down. This is how powerful our thoughts are. And I have a strong desire to continuously finagle and adjust my perspective and install new beliefs that just work around the limiting beliefs. We're undermining them. We're not trying to rip them out. We're just scooting underneath them and loosening them. So a part of that is radical worthiness, right? I am so worthy. Here's the thought. I'm so worthy that even when I have thoughts of unworthiness, even when I find myself struggling to believe in my worthiness, I'm still worthy and I still receive. It doesn't stop me. My thoughts of unworthiness don't stop me from receiving everything that I desire. So same notion. My doubt that I will receive this desire, if I find myself in a place of alignment with doubting my desire, even that doesn't stop me from receiving it. I get it anyway. And in my getting it anyway, I learn to trust it. I learn to believe. I learn that I get it anyway, right? I learn that, oh, even if I have some doubts, even if I'm in a place of crippling doubt and strong resistance, I get it anyway. It doesn't stop it from coming to me. That helps me relax and trust and feel back in my desire, into my desire and my place of faith in it. I get it anyway. Doesn't matter. I can be in doubt. I can be twisted up in resistance. I can be feeling all kinds of unworthy. I get it anyway. Liberation. This is, yeah, the liberation that is contained within. Freedom is found within. We can always find the path to freedom within our perspective. By the shifting of that perspective, that is our power. We can always see it another way. See it in a way that works. You can always add another thought underneath that limiting one. Whatever it is that is inciting fear or doubt, or shame, feelings of unworthiness, any of it, whatever it is, whatever thought that is evoking that response, we can find a way around it. We can layer a thought underneath it that says, this thought doesn't stop anything. It's kind of that whole, the above statement is false, the below statement is true. But, you know, we're wrapping things around in such a way that this one has the power and this one doesn't. We can just sort of negate the programming, because it is programming. It is literally programming. Here's a statement. The program of the mind takes this statement to be true. If this, then this. Now we're adding a clause that actually is negating this entire statement so that this statement is never true. And then it just doesn't get included anymore. Because this statement is now never true, it's no longer run. That line of code doesn't get run. It's skipped over in the processing. Pretty cool, actually. Six of Pentacles again, and the Wheel of Fortune again. Yeah, it's time to really focus within. Again, what is it that I'm giving my energy to? That's here with this Seven of Wands. What thoughts am I allowing in? What behaviors am I allowing myself to do that just don't feel good? I'm doing them out of habit. I'm doing them out of fear because I feel like I have to. I'm afraid of what happens if I don't. What am I allowing to steal my joy because it's not feeding me with joy, because it's not fueling it? If it's not fueling your joy, then it's taking from it. Do the things that fuel your joy. Give only to those things. What can we stop giving our energy to? Because it's not actually what we want. A lot of that is internal. A lot of that is the examination of what are we believing? What are we putting energy into thought-wise that doesn't feel good? And it's not about shaming. It's not about judging. Those thoughts will come too and try to get you to feed energy into them. It's sneaky. It's real sneaky. Just keep paying attention to it. And it's okay. It's more than okay to get a little angry with it. Ooh, yeah. Because a lot of those thoughts are there to challenge you and provoke you into actually standing up for yourself internally, setting some internal boundaries and saying, I'm fucking done with that story. It's not my story. I have been telling this narrative to myself about myself for a long time, and it doesn't feel good, and I'm sick of it. I'm done with it. No more. Not mine. Not me. Thank you very much. Show yourself the door. We're done here. That is more than okay. Yeah, and acknowledge the desire to do this. That's a part of like setting the intention. I have a desire to drop this narrative. Therefore, I drop it. My desire is evidence of its fulfillment. I want it, so it is. Stand there in that knowledge and stare that narrative down. And say, look, you got no power over me. Because I know now. I know my power. I know how to step into it. I know the power of my perspective. I know you're not me. I know you've pushed me to this place, and I'm so grateful for it. Truly. You have poked me into actually standing up for myself, setting my own internal boundaries, owning my own internal energetic space, external too, but I feel it's necessary to focus on the internal capacity here. I don't want this so much that it's shown me really what it is what I do want, and that is to own myself and know myself without a doubt, to not tell this story of the doubtful self anymore, because myself is not doubtful. And I know that with great certainty now, without a doubt. So, thank you. We are done. We are done. That is you. Thank you for being you, so that I can be me. And now I'm just going to stand here being me, which is steady and secure and certain. And I know even if I slip back into that place, it's just going to push me even more to get back to here. Temperance. Oh. Yeah, we got to get hot. We got to get a little heated. This is what I feel about temperance all the time. The power of emotion, the power of getting a little angry, getting riled up. That's getting your juices flowing. Why is temperance here? Yeah. We don't liberate ourselves if we don't have the desire to. There's passion in that. realize that all of the fear and the pressure is pushing us into the place of inciting that passion to stand up for ourselves and what it is that we really want and what it is that we are truly capable of and truly deserve, which is everything. Everything. Liberating ourselves from fear involves getting a little pissy with fear and saying, I'm tired of it. I am not fearful. I, that which I am, soul, is not afraid of anything. And I know that by how much it hurts to feel the fear. So again, thank you for pushing me into this place of really clearly identifying the truth of what is, the truth of what I want also. That's a want. I wanted to know clearly what is. I wanted to know myself clearly, which means I had to know a whole lot of not myself, because the more not myself that I know by my alignment with it, by believing that it is me and feeling how shitty that feels, the more it drives me to know the truth of me, which is not afraid, which is steadfast and certain and secure. And it's never wrong to feel the other things again. They're there to push us, they're there to test us, they're there to help us figure out who we really are. All of the time. And they can be loved and appreciated for being exactly that. They are components of self. They are the components of self which volunteered to play the role of other, to be the bad guy, so that we could stand up and know how good we are. They volunteer to be the opposition so that we can know what it means to defend and feel strength within our own boundaries. The energy around the Fool is the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, we're learning what it is we really want. And what we really want is an adventure. What we really want is a whole bunch of stuff that we don't know that we want. But we know it when we see it. By the way that it feels. Yeah, and that's what that's where we're meant to create everything from. That's how we create the happily ever after life. By knowing it's a journey of endless desire. We are meant to desire endlessly. Your desire isn't frustrating and upsetting to you when you know that it's fulfilled. When you know that that's what it means. Oh my God, I received a desire. That means I get that thing. Fucking cool. Great. Can't wait for that. Wonder what it's going to look like. Let me feel into it. Maybe I can see it a little bit, because I can feel into what the desire feels like, and maybe I'll get a couple of details of what it might look like. And you know what? Some of those details are going to be there, and I'm going to see them and go, I knew it. That's so cool. But a lot more other stuff is going to be there that I didn't expect. And that's going to be even cooler. The blend of those things is going to be amazing. What's on top? Look at that, the Lovers. It's, yeah. I mean, I want to say it's coming in. It's on its way. Union is imminent. That's the way I feel it. Why is the Lovers here? Oh, there's just, it's this tiny little fucking piece. It's so minute. It's not going to stop it. Look, it's not going to stop it. But it's there to help us find a way around it. It's the Five of Wands. It's the weakest energy. It's just a couple of toothpicks. It's like, and it's gone. The tiniest amount of resistance keeping this unification at bay. It's not gonna stop it. It can't stop it. Install that thought. Even my resistance doesn't stop this from happening. I get what I want. I get it around my own resistance. I'm worthy right now. Right now. This is the core message of this video. Somebody needed to hear that. I get it right now. I get it anyway. I'm ready now. I receive it now. I'm worthy now. There is no more preparation. It's not any waiting. It's not, there's nothing else that needs to be done. There is nothing that needs to be done. It's ready now. You're worthy now. You receive it now. Nothing stops it. How about that? How about them apples? Tell me about the Wheel of Fortune. You just flow around it. You flow your perspective. You flow your energy around whatever's snagging you up internally. It doesn't have to go away. It could stay right there. Energy just flows around. Okay. It came back. This is an important lesson that we're learning. The real power of our perspective. That we don't have to release all resistance. We can just flow around it. Everything does. That's how energy works. That's how nature works. Everything takes the path of least resistance. Oh, all of this, I get destiny off of this card, but also a real fresh sense. We're looking at the world with fresh eyes. Nothing has been missed. Nothing has been missed. Everything that's meant for us is brought back around. Everything that's coming up is coming up for a reason. Wise judgment here. Yeah, it's another card of really weak resistance. In the same orientation too, of we have major arcana of things lifting, rising, and in motion, and then this puny, paltry resistance to it that is just, it's just a flick away from being totally gone. And we don't have to remove it. The way that we remove it is by flowing around it, again, is by realizing that it doesn't stop anything. That nothing stops this. Nothing stops this. Nothing stops. Install this belief. Nothing stops my desires from reaching me. Abso-fucking-lutely nothing. Nothing. I have a desire for nothing to stop my desire from reaching me. And because I desire it, it's so. That desire is evidence of its fulfillment. Layer it on there. Keep layering with this. Teaching yourself new thoughts, new ways of thinking that support the truth. Ooh. Okay. Dropped a card. We'll look at what it is in just a moment. Pulling on the Six of Pentacles. Suddenly I can't talk. It's a little tongue-tied, twisted. There is a sense of just somebody who's very nervous. Giving to something that you really want can make you feel nervous. There is a little bit of, am I capable? Am I ready? I don't know what I'm doing. You don't have to know what you're doing. Be present with it. You want it. That's giving it your heart. Just follow your heart, and you're putting your heart into it. That is of the utmost value. The gift of your being. Exactly who you are. Yeah, no, you're ready for this. We're ready for this. Don't listen to... It's okay to have the voices that say you're not, that you're not enough, that you're not prepared, that you need more time, you're not healed enough, you're not whatever enough. It's okay to have those voices. They don't mean anything. You're ready now. You're ready now. Your trauma doesn't make you unworthy. Your trauma doesn't prevent your healing. It's time for something new. Yeah, it's time to let something in. This red was Temperance. Why is that here? Oh my God. The World. Let it all in. It's the most auspicious card I can pull. It's delicious here in combination with the Nine of Pentacles. This is a whole new world. Of course it's going to feel scary and unfamiliar and uncertain. And of course the mind is going to go, we don't want that because it's scary, because it feels scary, and it's going to use that to sort of cover up the feelings of desire. The soul doesn't want security. The soul doesn't want to feel safe in sameness and stagnance. That's not soul. That's not true desire. That's what the mind thinks it wants, and the mind is not you. The mind is not you. So acknowledge that, and then come back into the feeling. When you get pulled into the place of mind and identification with that and going, ooh, I don't know, I feel scared. Remember that the soul, which you are, never feels afraid. So that's not you talking. And none of that stuff has anything to do with you. And then just breathe back into the place of the heart and realize, yeah, but I want it. Yeah, I just want it. There's just something in me. There's just something in me that says, I know this is it. I know this is it. This is the thing. This is the one. This is what I want. I know that. Even when I have the stuff from the mind trying to layer on top of it and it disconnects me from the true emotional experience, even then, I know this isn't the real emotional experience. This isn't really how I feel. This is a made-up self. That's not me. That's trying to get me to believe that it is me, just so it can keep existing. That's it. So it's gonna lie through its teeth. It's gonna lie through its teeth to convince me that this isn't what I want, that I'm not ready for it, that it couldn't possibly, it's not gonna work, this and that, whatever. That thing wants to keep existing, so it's gonna say anything it can to get me to believe it. And it's gonna inject me with fear. It's gonna threaten me and say, you better believe this, because it's dangerous if you don't. You're crazy if you don't. Obviously this is true. Hey, whoa, obviously. Like, it's trying so hard to get me to go over there and to believe that. And I know every time I do, it hurts. It hurts. And it's pushing me to stand up for myself and what it is I really believe in. What it is I really feel. It's teaching me how to be in that place of fear and disconnect, trembling and afraid, and go, you know what? I can get back to it. I can get back to me. Even having lost sight of myself, I know I'm not gone. And that I can get back into the place of knowing who I am and what it is that I want. This doesn't stop me. This doesn't stop me from connecting with myself. I can have moments of re-identifying with this which isn't me. But I'm conscious enough. I am aware enough, and I am becoming only more so to catch it more and more quickly, more and more often, and to step back out of it. And of course it's going to loom up large because I am growing brighter, because I'm not feeding it anymore, because I'm spending so much more time with myself as myself that now this other stuff is going, whoa, we're at risk of being exterminated here. We're no longer able to just get a free ride off of this juicy energy. So we're going to do everything we can to try to get it back, manipulate, threaten. It's a con man, it's a mafioso, it will do everything it can to try to threaten you into alignment with it so it can keep feeding. It's a parasite. It's a parasite. Get a little pissy about it. See that and say, you're done, dude. You are done freeloading on my energy. No more. The lease is up. Environmental energy around the Four of Swords is the Nine of Cups. This is that feeling, that sitting in the silence and feeling into the emotional content of the wish. What is it that really feels good to me? And let me dwell in that place. And yeah, there's the King of Cups again. I just feel this representing the emotional content, the emotional connection, something that actually I don't have the word for it. Something that actually satisfies us. Because without the emotion, there's no satisfaction. It's all about that. It's all about the cups. Cups are the language of the soul. It's under that King of Cups. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles. That's where the real foundation is. Build from the emotional foundation. That's how we do this moving forward. It's coming in whether or not you believe it. It's coming whether or not. Part of that is that we want it to surprise us again. And a part of being surprised is thinking it's not going to happen, right? I mean, that's a pretty big surprise to be in that place of, well, I guess this is never happening, and then it does. That's exactly where I was at. I was kind of teetering in between. I had resigned myself yet again to this idea of, I guess I'll just be alone. I will just be alone. I am so tired of the pain and the longing for this companion that I know exists, that I knew I had always known in my heart existed, but I kept going up and down in the belief, right? I would get really strong in the belief and the faith and the feeling of it and be talking to this energy. I've carried this energy. I have been in presence with the energy of the counterpart for my entire life. For all of my lives. It's never not been there. I've always known. I've always known and I've always felt it, and I did a lot of daydreaming in allowing myself to feel it, to be present with it, to feel my companion with me and what that feels like. And then I would get crossways of that desire. I would have the thoughts, I would let the thoughts in, and I would identify with them of it's never going to happen, that kind of thing, that it's delusional, or just focused on the absence of the physical instead of the presence of the energy and the emotional experience. And it would hurt so much. And then I just kept getting to this place where I'm like, I can't take it. I give up. I give up. I don't want. I'll just... My desires, again, were painful to me because I wasn't believing in them. So I started to go down that path of just, I will rid myself of desire. I will just be void of desire. I'll be this emotionless, empty kind of shell that is so peaceful and quiet all the time because I don't want anything. And everything is just the same, and I'm sort of just coasting through this existence, not really being here. Just oming on a cloud, right? And I had gotten back into that place, and then I was feeling the longing again, and I was working on the manifestation course that I haven't quite finished. And my goal for that course was manifesting a mindset. A mindset that supported manifestation and that supported my unconditional joy and love. And to me, that was the mindset of knowing my radical worthiness and absolute abundance. Because I wanted to create, because that desire never did go away, even when, again, the mind covered it up. And then in dreaming, because you're invited to dream, right? In this course, to dream into what is it that you see. What's the manifestation past this one? So you achieve this, this is your desire, and it's achieved. What's the next thing? What's the thing that you dream of because you got this? And it was immediately the soulmate. Companion, counterpart, perfect energetic match. It was immediately that. And I gave myself permission for the first time in a long time, to really receive that dream. I had shut it down again and again, and I called it back in. And this was the first time really that I became aware that I could be surprised by my own desire. Because I gave myself permission to feel this desire for just the one that I fucking want to be with all the time. And that feels the same way about me, that it's an exact match and reflection. And I'm just so delighted in this, and what does that feel like? And for the first time, I saw myself with a family. And I never thought I wanted kids. I never thought I wanted kids. But in this dream, I was there in a house, a farmhouse kind of place, with my partner and these kids. And I let myself want that. I gave myself permission to admit that that was what I wanted. And to feel it fully. To just live in that dream. And it felt so good. And it surprised me so much. And everything changed. Everything changed from there. Sorry, now there's sound happening and it's freaking me out. I don't know. This place does have spirits, but that was weird. Now I feel like I have to whisper. Alright, well, we're gonna get done with this anyway. The Hermit, again, nothing stops this. It's freaking me out now. Okay, hold on. Okay. It's fine. It's the guy getting wooden pallets from outside. Just, I kept fucking hearing shit. Like, what is that? Okay. As you were, I had gotten to the place where I really didn't think it was going to happen, and then I let it back in. And I let myself believe in it. And I gave up all of the preconceived notions of what it would look like. That was a really powerful part of it. Because I realized, I had this surprising revelation of, oh my God, I want a family. Like, that's actually what I want. I want a family. And it showed me to just drop everything attached to all of the imagery of what it was that I thought I wanted, and to focus on the truth that I might want some things that I didn't realize that I wanted, and I want to let those in. I want to let that in. I want to let in the stuff that I haven't dreamed yet, that I don't know what it looks like, but I know it by the way it feels. I want to let that in. And I think it was a week or maybe two after that the person that it's always been from the moment that we met. But I shut it down for all kinds of reasons. Didn't fit the picture. The emotion was so intense. I didn't know what to do with it. It was terrifying to me. It was all of this just, whoa. We'll just shove it out. I knew immediately. My heart knew immediately. I knew. I knew the second I saw her. And the second we made eye contact, I mean, I couldn't look away. I could not look away. I've talked about her on this channel before. The powerful platonic soul connection, yeah. Yeah, there's only ever been one. I've met other people that I've felt connection to. Not like this. Not fucking like this. And I knew it from the beginning. From the beginning, I just adored her. It came pre-installed. Again, it was like, oh my god, I love you. Hi, what's your name? I love you. I didn't need to know anything. It was just her being her. And I recognized her. But then the brain immediately, so quickly, was like, you can't know any of that. That's crazy talk. You're crazy, girl. You're crazy. Shut that down. That's dangerous. That's not allowed. You're not allowed to feel those things. So it was a long journey of repression and learning how to trust myself. And really, I had this other identity that was super strong, that was the noble sufferer of unrequited love. Oh, that one loves itself so much. That identity was so deep, so strong, that this is just what we do. We love and we don't have it returned. And that's like the right thing to do. Not me. Not me. But it had been that identity which I was aligning with, which resigned itself to just loving from a distance. Because again, that's safe. That's safe. We know what happens if nothing happens. Nothing. If we don't try, nothing happens. That's easy. That's safe. That's secure. So we just stay there and we tell ourselves this is the thing that we want when it's not. And everything the heart is screaming against it. And there were so many times that I knew I needed to tell her. I wanted to tell her how I felt, but I was terrified, and so I shut it down again. Thank God. Thank self that she followed my own advice better than I did and expressed herself bravely, boldly, for her own selfish pleasure, expressed her feelings for me, and here we are. Here we are. There's still all kinds of egoic response around all of this, but you can't miss what's meant for you. It can't miss you. The soul is calling it in. It's magnetic, it's powerful, it's bigger than this hunk of junk. This little pile of toothpicks. It's just gonna flow around it. Know that. Anytime you're feeling conflicted, breathe and know that's not the soul. Soul's not conflicted, soul's not worried. That which you are knows everything's coming anyway. Doesn't matter. You can play in the resistance. Doesn't matter. Doesn't stop it all from coming in. Doesn't stop your desire from being fulfilled, because you are that radically fucking worthy and you are that powerful. You're that powerful. All right. Final message. Final message. Oh yeah, it gets there. It gets there. Look. I just decided to go further in this. We were talking about the change that comes. Emotionally satisfying change. It gets there. The Knight of Pentacles. I know sometimes it's a stopped energy, stuck energy. It's not. It's not here. Not with victory and the soul leading the way right underneath. it gets there. It gets to you. Keep just working around the self-limiting beliefs, the false beliefs. Find a way to believe. Keep putting new thoughts in there. Final message from the universe. Anything else you want to say here? Okay. Yeah, exactly that. Keep working on a new way of looking at things. That's where the effort is to be applied, is in your focus of perspective, the focus of your awareness, which is your energy. Wherever your attention goes, your energy flows. So notice when your attention is on thoughts that don't feel good and that step on your desire and contradict it, your only work is to flow around those thoughts, is to find a way to navigate back into the place of feeling the desire and finding a way to trust it. Just that. Just that. That's it. It's all coming. It's charging the fuck in. Delivered. I want to say, like delivered by God. It's because that's what it is. Because you're God and you have created it. You have asked. You have created. You have given. You receive. This comes in one way or another. Nothing is stopping this. The desire, the ask, is too powerful for any amount of resistance to stand in the way. It's fucking magnetic. It's magnetized. No, it's not a wall. I'm not getting a wall. I'm not getting trouble. Something might show up that looks like trouble. One more. You'll know it by the way it feels. Does it look like a problem to the mind? How does it feel? How does it actually feel? If it feels good, it is good. Trust that. No matter what it looks like on the surface. It doesn't matter what it looks like on the surface. If you feel that magnetism, if you feel yourself lighting up, if you feel that this is a match, it's a match. Trust it. That's it. That's it. That's all you need to know, to take action. How does it feel? The mind is not involved in any truth. There's no truth up there. It's not supposed to be a part of your decision making. The mind can be left out of decision making. Trust your guidance system. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It matters how it feels. And it's coming in. It's coming. Because it's been called in. Because we are calling this in. Because we want it. And what we want, we get. Period. What we want, we get. That's it. Point blank. There's no caveat. There's no other clause. There's nothing added to that statement. You want it, you get it. Because you want it. It's a given. It's done. You desire it, and so it is. Do you see? That's the meaning of that statement. So it is. It's the knowing that it's done. I want this, so it is. That's it. I can move into the next thing that I want now. Or I can just sort of bask in this place of knowing that it is. That's cool. That's a really cool place to hang out. It is even more powerful to be living in that dream and then flowing into what are more things that I want. Now that I've received this, what's the next thing that I want? Because that is too. Keep going down that path as far as you can take it until you reach a wall. That's okay. And then just scoot it back, come back in to where you're comfortable and stable in that desire. It's just, that's all of the work. That's the only work we ever have to do, is focusing ourselves into alignment with what is desired. The emotional content, the feeling of it, and the trust. that we couldn't receive that desire if it weren't real and it weren't ours. It's yours. It belongs to you. It's done. That is the message. This resonates powerfully with me. I intend that it resonates with you. I would love to know if it does. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe if you feel so inclined. None of that matters, though. It really doesn't. It does not matter. What matters is that you feel good, because you deserve to. So find a way to please yourself by permitting your desire, knowing that it is right, it is righteous, it is sacred, that is divine desire flowing through you. Own it, honor it, accept it, and know that because you want it, it belongs to you. That's it. It's all it ever takes. We're only getting better and better at it. Have a fantastic evening, my incredible collective, and know that always and always, in every vector of time and space, you're fucking powerful. You got this. You got it all. You've got it all. It's all coming to you. Nothing can stop you. Not ever. Not now. So just trust it. It's time to start celebrating. Have fun with it, baby. Oh, and I love you. Take it easy.